Hey everybody, it's Civic and welcome back to another Rust base build. Today I'll be showcasing my Duo roof bunker design. Its cheap build and upkeep cost makes it affordable for small groups while still maintaining a 23 rocket raid cost to the TC. The base comes with full roof access and there's plenty of room to expand. The roof bunker makes the small base incredibly strong, and by adding in the use of a shotgun trap, we can make the bunker self-seal, making it practically impossible to deep without TC access. Even in this compact core design, we can still hold up to 14 large boxes, a tier 3, 1 furnace, and 2 sleeping bags. Our TC is placed 1 foundation lower, making it unlootable if broken. The raider will either have to spend extra boom or jackhammer out a backwards wall. Now with all of that said, let's get right into the base tour. Coming up to the front door of our base, we have a simple 2-door airlock. On the left side behind the front door, we have 3 furnaces concealed behind a glass window in the honeycomb, and on the right we have another window frame to see any outside door campers. If we follow through the garage door path, we have a locker for any extra gear sets, and behind the next door we have a 4-box loot room with a campfire in the center for extra comfort. The next garage door holds our roof bunker as well as the access to our second floor. Let's head up here for now, and you guys can see we have a repair bench, research table, a few extra boxes, and some bags. All of this is guarded by a shotgun trap which holds the drop down from the roof. This same shotgun trap mechanism is repeated on the next airlock floor, and as we head up to the roof floor you'll notice there's plenty of space to expand or add in even a shooting floor if wanted. And there isn't much I can show you guys from outside of the bunker, so let's spawn inside and I'll give you guys the tour from there. So spawning inside of our bunker, you guys can see we now have a 4-box loot room right in front of us, as well as the TC down below. We can spawn in one of 2 bags. This is again a duo base. We have a bit more box space as well as a furnace on the floor. If we open up the next garage door, we'll head straight forward and we see our tier 3. Our roof bunker with a self-sealing shotgun trap, and also down below here we have another 4-box loot room with a campfire, and behind us on the roof where we came up from we have another 3-box loot room. I feel like the box space for this design is not too bad. There's plenty of room to store all of your loot for the whole wipe. To open up the bunker, you guys stand right here up against these frames and get yourself a triangle roof piece, and you guys can place it in right here up against the corner, and you guys can just hop out into the rest of your base. Now for the upkeep of the TC, you guys can see it on your screen now. It's not awful for a duo, it could be a bit for a solo player, and with that you can remove HQM as needed. With all that said, let's get right into the base build. Alright guys, let's get right into the base build. So we're going to start by placing in a lower triangle foundation and then 2 raised squares off of it. Then we can place in another 2 triangle foundations to fill in the gap, and also 1 triangle foundation off the right side. Let's upgrade all these to stone. Now we're going to surround the outside of it with walls, leaving only this slot open. And we can place in another full wall on top of our lower one, and then balance out the height with half walls. Let's upgrade all these to stone. We'll place in 3 half walls on top of this open triangle, with the roof tile on top. On the left side we'll place in a wall frame, and on the right a normal wall. Now let's add in all the roof pieces. And we'll get a door on. Now to get our TC in place, we're going to place in a half wall right in front of this drop down, upgrade it to stone, and put a floor tile on top. Now we'll put our TC down in this corner. Make sure you guys have your whole team authorized on this thing before you seal it off with the low wall, because you won't be able to access the code lock once it's sealed. So we'll go ahead and build in our roof bunker now, that way we have somewhat of a seal against our TC. So we're going to place in a full wall with a half wall on top, then we can place in a floor frame right in this gap, upgrade it to stone. Now it's very important before we place in the roof piece, we actually get this floor tile in. We won't be able to place it in later on, so let's get that in first, and then we can place in our roof piece right here. Now whenever you guys want to leave your base, place in either a normal roof or a triangle roof piece right up against either side of the wall, and you guys can just slide through like this, demolish it before you leave, and we can continue on building our outside. So let's go ahead and place in a square foundation off of our door, and then 4 triangles going around the side of the base here. We'll upgrade all these to stone. And going up to the last of the 4 triangles, we're going to place in a wall, a door, and then a window frame. On the 2 open slots, we'll just place in walls, and we'll upgrade all these to stone. Now let's get in all of our floor pieces. Upgrade all these to stone as well. We'll head upstairs for just a minute. We might have to remove this door. And we'll place in another wall frame, and then 2 more walls and a half wall on the side here, just like this, creating our roof access. We'll get our door in here now, and our front door on as well. We'll just place in another doorway here, creating our airlock. And of course, if you guys don't have a glass window, a shop front works just the same way. And 2 doors can be placed in just like that. Alright, so now back inside our base, we can go ahead and finish up our starter. We'll place in another floor tile on top here, and then we can seal it off with just another half wall, just like this. We'll place in 2 wall frames on either side of our roof. And then down here in this room, we'll have a loot room, so we're going to place in 2 floor tiles, just like this, where we can sit our boxes. And then you guys can place a floor on top of our drop down here. Now let's do a quick build of the starter, just so you guys have an idea of where to put certain boxes right away. Now quite a few people said they had issues making this loot room, but I'm going to give you guys a full tutorial and just watch me and try to follow these instructions. We're going to start by placing in a campfire, and we can place in 1 box right here up against the edge, sitting in this very back corner. And now moving to the next corner, we can go right here. And now the next one, and then just hop out, and you guys can place the last one in just like this. We'll go ahead and place in some garage doors here. If you guys have your workbench, it can go right here up against this wall. And now from this point forward, just remember to open the bunker from this side, that way you guys won't have any issues squeezing in past the workbench. Now of course, once you guys have the TC code locked, we can build in our low wall right here. And now we'll place in a couple large boxes in this back room. And then you guys should be able to fit in 2 bags. Just like that. And we can even fit in a furnace right here up against the wall. And this is the basic starter base complete. Obviously our base is not too secure quite yet, so we'll go ahead and start upgrading things to their final grade right now. So let's go finish up the honeycomb, and we'll upgrade the inside of the base afterwards. So for our upgrading, we're going to start right here at this drop down square, and we're going to place in 5 triangle pieces around the back ends of our base. So starting from here, we're going to do raised, another raised one, then here next to our TC will have to be lower, and then again 2 more raised. We're going to upgrade all these to metal. But this one here is actually very different. You guys can see there's half walls, and it's right on the edge of our roof piece. That's where you'll know where to find it. Make sure the foundation here is already upgraded to metal, and then you guys can upgrade this one and also upgrade this half wall right here. That's because we can't do it from the inside, as the other half wall is blocking it. So now coming back around to our drop down square, we'll also upgrade our foundation and walls in this area. May have to go up to the actual roof floor to upgrade the top ones, and also the roof as well. And while we're up here, let's just do this back wall. Now all the rest of these we can do from inside, so let's continue on building all of our honeycomb. So what we're going to do is use full walls, and they're going to be stacked on top of each other like this. And notice there is an open slot at the top there, but that's alright. It's all going to come together at the end. So we're going to use metal for all of these sides and go around and honeycomb the entire base. For this lower one here next to TC, you guys can either do 2 half walls at the bottom or 2 half walls at the top extra. So notice here it balances out, but we're going to want to do 1 more layer higher than that. You may have to upgrade it up on the roof. And now coming back around to our front door, we'll head up to our roof floor and continue on building the rest of our outer honeycomb. While we're up here, we'll go ahead and just remove this door. Now the last bits of honeycomb we're going to do are these 3 walls right here. They can all be stone. And now we're going to surround the inside of our honeycomb with stone walls. Just like that. And let's build our final drop down right now to the roof. So we're going to place in a wall frame right here, and 2 more half walls on top of those. Just like that. Upgraded all the stone. And we're also going to need to add in another roof tile right here. Now let's add in a bit of a buffer for the honeycomb. So we can start by adding in 2 half walls on either side of our drop down. If you guys don't really understand how this drop down works yet, just add in the roof piece and you guys will quickly see exactly how this will happen. And then we can go around and add in the rest of the pieces. Now it's very important that you guys do not add in a buffer right here, and I'll show you guys why. Even if our bunker is open and we add in this wall, it will actually seal our bunker. So this wall needs to stay out of the base, and we can upgrade all the rest of them to stone. Now before we seal all of this off, we're going to make sure both of these triangles right here are metal, the one underneath our drop down, and the one next to it to the right. Now with all that said, we can upgrade all the rest from inside, so let's go ahead and seal off all of the roof pieces here. Just like that. We can just do metal on all of these. Just like that. Now if you guys want to place a shotgun trap down here and just piss off the raider, you guys can upgrade this one to metal. And that way the raider has to drain that shotgun trap or shoot a rocket in there to break it. Now with all that said, that is the outside of our base completely upgraded and finished. Let's head inside and start working on all the inner honeycomb. We can start right here on the airlock actually and build in this piece right here. Just place a wall. Or if you guys would rather, you guys can even do a window frame and place in 3 more furnaces. Just remember to place in a glass window and keep that sealed off. Now continuing on to the base, let's upgrade this half wall as well as the roof tile on top. Now let's go through this general area and upgrade all the main pieces to metal. And we can even do the roof to metal while we're over here. But obviously, in the end, this should definitely be armored. Now heading up to our roof floor for just a second, we're going to upgrade this half wall here to metal. And let's just add the doors in right now. Speaking of which, let's do the rest of our wall frames downstairs. And let's continue on into our bunker, and we can start upgrading things to their final grade down here. So underneath this roof piece, we're going to make sure this half wall is metal. At this point, I expect we almost have the tier 3, so we're going to remove the tier 2. We can upgrade this back wall to armored, as well as both roof pieces above our TC and the square to the left of it. And then we can upgrade all of this box down here to armored, including the one up top. The wall to the right, however, can be metal. Now for the 4-box loot room in the back, we're going to make sure both of these walls are also armored. The roof pieces, however, can again just be metal. But I would definitely make sure these foundations are metal as well. And on both sides of the TC, we're going to make sure the foundations are armored. For this, you guys may have to remove one of the boxes. And then just replace it afterwards. Make sure your TC wall right here is metal, as well as the roof piece on top. And then reach down and get the wall right next to the TC. Getting this back wall may be a little bit tricky, but if you stand a little bit off of the edge of each foundation, you should be able to barely just reach it, and you can upgrade that to armored. Don't forget to also upgrade this foundation here. And the roof can just say stone. Let's also replace these top boxes. And so if everything in here looks good, we can go ahead and place in a window frame and upgrade it to stone. Now on top of our bag room, we're going to place in 3 large boxes. We'll start right here in this back corner and stand right up against the wall and place it in as flush as you guys can get it. We should then be able to place in this one here. Of course, make sure your garage door is in beforehand. And then you guys should also be able to fit in the last box, just like that. And guys, with all of this now complete, our bunker is basically finished. The last thing we can do here is add in our tier 3. And you guys can place it right here up in this corner. And a small box can go underneath. Make sure you guys still have enough room. You should be able to fit through this little gap with no issues. And then you guys can also hop out of your bunker very easily. And this will actually self-seal our bunker. Alright guys, so now outside of that room, we'll place in a 4-box loot room right down here below.
So for that, we're gonna have to upgrade this frame here to metal. That's gonna allow us to fit in the boxes. We're gonna start by placing in, again, another campfire. Crouching again and going in this corner. Getting it lined up as best as possible up against the edge. Check it a little bit. If it looks off, you guys can fix it. Right about there looks pretty good. So we'll move on to the next one. Now let's go ahead and fit in a locker right in front of this armored wall. Of course, it's just personal preference. You guys can also fit furnaces there or extra bags. Now let's place in the garage door in front of our bunker. Let's head up to our roof floor access. This will be the floor with our research and repair bench. Let's start by placing in the research table with a large box underneath, just like this. And then the repair bench will stick over just a little bit. You guys should be able to fit it overlapping in the box a little bit there. And then we can fit into small boxes, just like that. And if you guys did it perfectly against the wall, we should be able to also fit in our secondary 2 extra bags. And just like that. Now for traps, if you guys want, you guys can fit a shotgun trap in this slot here. And then also we'll fit in 2 small boxes. And then we can do the same thing on this floor right here.
Alright guys, and one final thing, just a little side note. Some pieces of the roof actually stick out through the wall, so with all that extra stone I'm sure you guys all collected, we're going to use it to put a little bit more honeycomb on the base. This doesn't have to be done right away, but it will guarantee that raid cost, so try to do it as soon as possible. And with all that said, the base is completely finished.
Alright guys, with all that said, our entire design is finished. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a thumbs up and let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Of course, the overall base cost is in the description and also on the right side of the screen. And I'll see you guys in the next one.